Hey everyone, Gary Simon here of Corsetro. Today we're going to take a look at something called Lottie, and it's from the people behind Airbnb, and it is a library for Android, iOS, React Native, and web that allows you to create animations in Adobe After Effects and export those as SVG data in the form of JSON. I mean, it's really strange how this works, but it is completely awesome. Let me show you, if you go to CodePen rather, some examples of what have been made with this. So this animation right here was created in After Effects, but it is entirely code. This isn't a video at all, and it's vector. And you can see the HTML and CSS and everything right there. You can do it not just for, sort of animated illustrations like this. You could do it for interaction design. Look at that. You could even do it something like this, like page transition animations. Awesome stuff. So to keep things simple, this is what we're going to do. So this was made in Adobe After Effects. I'm going to show you exactly how I made it and then what it takes to get this into a browser and ready to go. So as always, make sure you subscribe here. And today's question, just to make it relevant based on this video, is how much experience do you have with After Effects? And I'm asking you guys, my audience specifically, because I may cover After Effects animation specifically in terms of creating really cool stuff like this. All right, so let's get started. Okay guys, so the very first thing that we need to do is I want you to take a look at the lottie-web GitHub URL, and there is an installation section. So I'm not going to install it here, I already did, but it gives you literally like 400 options of installing. No, really just 6. But the easiest one that I found was just to get it from the Adobe store. And if you have Adobe Creative Cloud installed and After Effects, then you click on this link, something shows up. What happens here? Yeah, you just click on this the free button, which it's not showing for me because it already is installed, and it literally just installs it for you. You'll get a notification on your desktop from Creative Cloud that it has been added. All right, so after it is installed, you also will need to go to, in After Effects, Edit, Preferences, General, and then check on Allow Scripts to Write Files and Access the Network. All right, so by the way, I just realized that my shirt, this is like green, so I have a green screen. I'm like, whatever is on the desktop is going to be showing through my chest. I probably shouldn't wear this shirt again. Anyhow, so once it's done and you've done this allow scripts to write files and access network step, then we're going to head over to After Effects. All right, so we want to start a new composition. So click on that. It'll bring this dialog box up here. And really, in terms of the width and height, in terms of the sheer scale, should you go small or large, it doesn't really matter too much because we're dealing with vector. So just be mindful, if you're doing something as simple as an icon, just a straight up square, dimensions will work well. So I'm just choosing 500 by 500, frame rate 50, and then also duration. The longer these are, obviously the larger the file size is going to be. So I'm just setting mine at really small, just 2 seconds, that's it. So background we'll leave at white and hit OK. All right, so let's get things situated here just a bit. All right, so the first thing I want to do is create a sphere of some sort. So I'm going to left click and drag out this ellipse tool, and just near the center, I'm going to hold Shift and the Control key and get a size roughly right around there. All right, and then if you really want to align it, choose a line over here. We'll align it horizontally and vertically. Okay, so now if you've never touched After Effects, this is going to be a little bit of a crash course. That's why I'm not going to be doing anything too complex. So now it's just up to you to decide and start building out whatever it is you want to build out. So we'll just say that we're going to have a couple of keyframes based on, I guess you could say, the size and also the stroke width up here. So by default, I have my stroke, which is over here. I have this blue color, 0053D0, and also the width is at 18 pixels. So what we'll do is we'll open up the ellipse inside of contents, and we have a few things here. Also transform, because we want scale. We're going to say this right here is about as large as it's going to get. So I'm going to fast forward right around here, around 15 frames, and hit a keyframe for scale at 100%. And then also we will scale it down pretty small, like 1 or 0%. All right. And then we can take the, let's take the stroke here and the stroke width. And by default, it's at 18. So let's add a keyframe right there. And that will be, and then we'll come down and we'll make it just 0. So it's going to go from nothing to a thicker sort of stroke there. All right, and then let's also have it kind of come back down in size. And so we'll take down our scale, maybe right around there. And let's see, what else do we want to do? We'll take our stroke width, and we're going to adjust this quite a bit. So let's see here. We'll go ahead and scale this down even further. All right, and actually, I'm going to change, I'm going to change that up real quick. I remembered I didn't do it this way originally, so maybe increase that scale just a bit. All right, I'm happy with that right there. That's where it's going to end. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and then take, by the way, if we, with this selected, if we hit U, all right, and we'll see it'll only show us the properties with keyframes. We can go ahead and duplicate this with Control D and just have fun with it. What we can do, one way of doing this is we can move this forward just a bit. So now we have 2 copies, and we can even play around with them even further by adjusting the duplicates keyframe properties. All right, so we'll have them both start off at the same properties, but in the next keyframes, I guess we can have maybe a larger stroke width, and maybe we'll scale it down a little bit less, but we'll make this even larger. So again, this is just completely subjective, and I'm just playing around with it. All right, so maybe we'll have another one right here where this even goes larger in size, but we'll really scale down the stroke. All right, so let's hit the 0 on your number pad. All right. Yeah, something like that. Whatever, random. You get the idea. And we'll go ahead then, and we'll go ahead. Let's see here. We'll do a kind of like a check mark. So with that, make sure none of the current layers are selected. We'll choose the pen tool. And I'm going to zoom up here a bit. So I'm holding the Alt and the scroll wheel. And I'm just going to left click somewhere randomly, hold Shift, and yeah, I think that's a good size just to start with. Now we'll go back to the Move tool, and we could scale this up if we need to. So, okay, that's kind of difficult to do it that way. Let me scale it up like this. It's scaling also the stroke. We want it to match it would be a good idea to match this outside stroke. So if we go to this keyframe, we'll see that the stroke width is 28. Yeah. All right. So this stroke width will be 28 as well. All right. So we'll go to contents, shape, stroke, and stroke width. What is happening there? Why is this stroke width? Oh, it's because it was, the scale is actually larger than it should be. Well, that's fine. I'm just going to eyeball this one. I think this will probably be more like 10. There we go. That's close enough. All right. And just going to eyeball this. We could use the center alignment, but I don't think it's going to work well. So I'm just going to eyeball it for now. All right. Let's drag this over here. And we'll have this start right when this ends. Well, maybe not. It might be a little bit more fluid if we bring it in over here. All right, and then what we'll do is, this is going to be the end point. So we'll just say, we'll put a keyframe right around there. And we'll put a keyframe for, let's see here, we'll do stroke width. And then also we'll do a keyframe for scale. All right. So we're going to come down back to the beginning. And then we will put, let's see here. Our stroke width will be just 1. And the scale, let's make that 0. All right, so notice how the anchor point here is changed. I'm not sure if I like that. So if we just move this real quick near the center, there we go. And then we could just reposition this. So now it comes from the center. All right, and maybe we will come here near the end, or almost in the middle, more like 2/3 of the way, and we'll take our scale up. Maybe like that. All right. So now it's hit 0 on the number pad. All right, pretty cool. Ooh, wait. 1 second. Oh, wait. I was zoomed up. That's why. I thought I was getting clipping up there. All right, so if it's pretty fast on your machine, or it's looking like kind of laggy, it's because of my frame rate for this video, but it looks absolutely smooth for me. So okay, now we'll say at this point you're happy with it, and now you want to export this so you can use it on your mobile or web app. All right, so what we'll do is we go to Window, Extensions, and this Body Moving panel right here shows up. So first we have to select the composition. So if you have multiple compositions, they're going to show up right up here inside of this area, and then you choose which ones you want to export. So for us, we just have this one. We click on this to change the destination folder. All right, so I'm going to be creating might as well just create it right now. A new folder called AE Anim. All right, and we're just going to save it as data. All right, and then what we'll do is hit render, and it's finished. All right, so we can open this up, and this is it. I mean, this is the entire animation, and it's 6 kilobytes, and it's a JSON file. So if I double click on this, you're going to see this, all of this code here. And that's it. All right. Still, though, for it to work, we're going to have to include an additional piece of JavaScript from bodymoving.js, body moving or whatever. So now we can click done. And normally, you'd want to leave After Effects up because chances are there may be issues where what you create here in After Effects doesn't match up with the end result in the browser. So you can quickly just go back and then make your changes and then re-render it. It will overwrite that data.json file. And if you're using like a live server, the browser is going to reload automatically for you. So making tweaks and such, going from After Effects to the browser is very quick and easy with this. All right, so I'll just leave this up here for now. So now we'll go ahead and open up in a code editor, Visual Studio Code, and create a new project here. So actually, let me go. I'm so used to using this CD AE Anim. All right, got our code editor open now, and then there's our single data.json file. Okay, so let's create an index.html. By the way, F11, somebody told me to do that in my last video, so thank you for that. And then what we'll do is exclamation point enter. And we just have to, I'm going to have like a very simple, very limited CSS that we're going to create just to center things up and stuff. So link, there we go. Main.css. So let's say, create a main.css file. All right. Might as well just get this CSS out of the way initially. Well, actually, no. Let me put in our HTML stuff here first. So we're just going to have a div with an ID of BM for body moving, and then we're going to have two scripts, JavaScript files down here. So at this point, if we go to back to this Lottie GitHub page, it'll show you some examples on CodePen and such. And it's going to show you different ways that you can include the script. You need the HTML player. So if I go back to our After Effects, you have a Get the Player button, and you can get the player gzip, that'll make it smaller. And this, what it will do is generate a lottie.js file for you. A quick and easy way of doing it. You could also use a Node Package Manager as well, or Bower, but we're just going to use this right here. All right, so you would just use either one of these. There's a light version, which I believe does not include some certain features, but we could just use this bodymin.js file or link right here. All right, so I already have that kind of ready to go off screen. So let's go back to the code editor, if I can find it, and Control B. And it's just a simple script source to that URL. Well, min.js, there we go. And then a second one, real quick, and we could do this inline if we wanted to, but we won't. So I'll just do index.js, and we'll save that. Control B. We're going to create an index.js file here. All right, so we'll focus on this index.js file. So if we refer back to the documentation real quick, it's going to show you some examples. So there's examples on CodePen, basic implementation right here. Sorry. And basically, if we click on, let's see here, our scripts, we'll see index.js, and this is a very simple just setup that you can use to get started right here. So really, I'm just going to copy this, and we'll go back to our code editor and just paste it. So make sure get element by ID. You do actually have one called BM there, and then you have options here. There's a lot more other options. Just look at the GitHub page. We're going to save that. Path is data.json. All looks good. All right, and then we'll come back here to the main CSS, And we'll do body HTML, height 100%, margin 0, and then also body display grid, justify items, center. That's going to center everything up for us. And then our BM ID, we'll just say the width is 250 pixels, and save it. Now we'll go back, Control B, right click, open with live server. Of course, I do this every single tutorial. I have a different editor up that's already using the port. All right, I just had to stop it. And there we go. And it's showing up crystal clear and very smooth for me. Again, the frame rate of this video may change that, but it looks pretty sweet. And of course, you can do so many different things with this. For instance, if we go back here, let me get out of the way. There we go. And we want to add to this. We can actually do something like position absolute, overflow hidden. All right, so it gets rid of any scroll bars. And we'll say left 50%, top 50%. Oh, the overflow hidden up here as well. We'll save it. We'll go back. What happened? Oh, that's why. Sorry about that. We got to go back to my code editor. The width, we'll make it something large, like, I don't know, 80%. So now, I pushed that over a little bit too much. But the idea here is, notice there's no scroll bars. You can actually use what you're building to create elements outside of just icons. These are it could be something like an animated background or a page transition or one of those modals. I've been calling those models for a long time. But yeah, really cool stuff. So I would suggest if you want to learn more, check out the different examples that they have. Go to the CodePen. Try to understand, to see what they're doing to generate this, and a lot of it really revolves around understanding After Effects and how to animate properly and understanding all those keyframes. All right, guys, hopefully you found that useful. If you did, make sure you subscribe here, give a like, leave a comment, and also answer today's question, which happens to be, how much experience do you have with Adobe After Effects? All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. with a brand new tutorial. All right, goodbye.